Happy Advent, New Life. Have you ever thought about this crazy reality? On the one hand, we live in a world where there's as much of a firm belief in science and even understanding of science as we've ever had. You can talk to even just a young child and they'll be able to explain scientific concepts that would have been just mind-blowing to someone just a few hundred years ago. And yet we have this grasp of this world that we live in with the atoms that are around us and the reality of the stuff of this world. And yet there's a yearning in us for the supernatural, isn't there? Oddly enough, you can go to like the Discovery Network, which is like a scientific network, and you can watch shows on the supernatural. There's still, we just, a couple months ago kind of came out of Halloween, this obsession with spirits and the supernatural world that we live in. Well, we have a God who invites us into, and actually, I think that yearning is from God. And part of the gift of Advent is this acknowledgement that we aren't just the stuff that we're made of. We're made for something more, something supernatural. And Jesus Christ, God himself, who comes in this world and inhabits this physical reality, he invites us into the supernatural. Let me read from us John 1, 6 through 13. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to bear witness about the light, that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to bear witness about the light. The true light, which gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, yet the world did not know him. Yet he came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor the will or the flesh, nor the will of man, but of God. So what John is saying is, hey, listen, you guys know that guy, John the Baptizer, who came? He came as someone who pointed to something more, to this incredible reality that the source of light was coming into the world. And he pointed to the creator of all, the creator of light himself, who was coming into the world. And the light comes, this creator of his creation comes into the world. And amazingly enough, the world doesn't know its creator. It's this kind of Geppetto moment where Pinocchio, if you remember the old show, Pinocchio is trying to make sense of who this man is and figure out who this man is. He doesn't naturally know who he is. We, the creation of the Creator, the Son of God who comes into the world, don't know who he is. And yet there's something in us, a yearning in us, a desire to be more than just mortals, to be more than flesh and bones that come into this world and die and pass away and become the earth, just like an animal. The Creator has something more for us. He can give us a new birth. I want to read the end of that passage again. It says this, but to all who did not receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. No longer just children of man, no longer just human beings, no longer just Homo sapiens, but children of God, supernatural beings who were born not of flesh nor of will or the flesh nor the will of man, but of God. What an incredible reality. This is the miracle. This is the mind-blowing supernatural reality of Christmas. That Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the creator of all things, took on flesh. The spiritual took on flesh so that the flesh could become spiritual. so that we could experience not just a birth, not just part of a life cycle of this earth, but we could experience a transformative, eternal, supernatural birth. And I just want you to invite you to consider that amazing reality. If you aren't a Christian yet, I'd ask you, don't you feel like there's something more? Don't you feel like there's maybe a creator out there? Don't you feel the yearning in you for the supernatural? And if you're a Christian, I want you to re-experience and relive the joy that you, who were flesh, can now become the supernatural, can now become spiritual, because the Spirit of God, God Himself, the Son of God, took on flesh, that we could become eternal with Him. What a gift it is. Merry Christmas to you.